What up? What up? Surprise, motherfuckers! I'm back on my bullshit. Um, Hi, hello. I'm just talking to myself at the moment, but it's cool. Um, yes. So I wanted to make this video because I haven't given y'all a video in so long, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm busy. I'm working on a manuscript, and I've been working on it for the last year and a half, which has been quite the whirlwind experience. But yeah, I'm going to tell y'all more about that once the book is like completely finished. But it's almost there. It's almost finished. I'm already working on the second draft of it, and I'm almost done. So basically, whenever I'm not at my job that provides me with steady income, that is what I'm doing. I'm working on the book. I spend anywhere from 2 to 5 hours every single day working on the manuscript, and that's been ongoing for the last year and a half, every single day. So, needless to say, it has been quite time consuming, and I really want to get this right. Um, wow, I've already talked about the book a lot. I feel like maybe I should tell you what it's about, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Not yet. Soon I will. Trust me, it's good. I will talk about it in another video in the future. I just wanted to explain why I haven't given you videos. um, and also because, like I like for things to be presentable and for things to be well thought out. And I don't want to just like post content just for posting content's sake. So a lot of times that creates like a huge lag in how often I'm posting videos and posting content in general. But this video is entitled Growth, and I am looking forward to 2019, 20BIteen. That's like an inside joke with the bisexuals. We're basically like claiming the year 2019, 20BIteen, just to be an increased year of bi visibility and for people to understand what bisexuality is. All it really is just acknowledging you having crushes, fantasies on more than one gender. That's essentially what it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you date or have sex with more than one gender, or that what are some other popular things that I've heard? Or that you want to have threesomes. Yeah, people say all kinds of crazy shit to me whenever I say I'm bi. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean any of that. It's really about orientation. It's about who you think about, who you fantasize about, who you have crushes on, who you have sex with, who you want to go out on dates with, who you want to flirt with. It's all of that. It encompasses all of that. So yeah, 2019 or 20BIteen is going to be a year of growth for me. I am making a commitment between me and you to at least post at the very least one video a year, a month, not a year. So that means at least for the year of 2019, 20BIteen, you're going to at least get 12 videos from me. And I'm hoping that they can at least be in this same forum. I titled this video Dirty Laundry because what I'm doing right now is I'm literally waiting for my laundry to get out of the dryer. And right now, it's just like that very awkward waiting period where it's just like, oh yeah, I just gotta wait for my clothes to dry. So I'm kind of sitting around and I'm like, oh, I should just make a live. I should just go on live. Anyway, I want to talk about growth. I want to talk about my growth over the year and over the years in general. I was just talking to a friend. I just went out to brunch with a friend from college, and we was talking about, who I was in college and who I am now and how grateful I am to be who I am now. And I was just so uncomfortable with myself and my sexuality, with every part of myself, being a feminine man, being Nigerian American, so many different aspects of myself. And I think a lot of that had to do with a lot of the environments that I was in. And also, the media has a huge part to play in that. And culture in general has a huge part to play in that. When I think of the year that I graduated college, 2012, and when I think of how things are now in terms of like, talks of mental health. When I first started this channel and I was talking about mental health, people was like, self-care, crazy, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? 2012, like it's crazy. It's crazy like how often you will hear things like mental health, things like depression, things like going to see my therapist nowadays versus in 2012. And it's a real testament to how culture can change and how we as humans can impact culture and impact the world in a lot of different ways. And I think that a lot of that has to do with, standing in your own truth and being honest with yourself and, being daring and brave enough to be the first one or to take the step or to do what you need to do, yeah, when I started going to therapy in 2011, 2012, and trying to be healthy and trying to take care of my mind and trying to take care of my body and trying to take care of my emotions and my, I guess some people will call it spirituality or what you can't see. Um, People was looking at me like, yo, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm admitting that I could use help, that I could benefit from the help of a professional. And I am invested in my growth and in my health. Um, and it's so bizarre, people's reaction to that. But I mean, that is what it is, I guess. um, but yeah, I think about how it was then and how it is now, and how widespread it is to hear about mental health and people hear talk about seasonal depression all the time now. Back in 2012, we was not on that. We was not, and I know that a significant part of why I was not exposed to that is because of my age group at the time. So there is that. But even when I think of media, even when I think of things like that, like the media was not talking about no seasonal depression like that, or um, self care, or take care of your mental health, mental body. Like, nah, that was not what was being talked about. So it is really heartening for me to see how much the world has changed. And I think we all are changing and undergoing a lot of change, which I'm really, really grateful for. When I think of 2012 and like bisexuality, being gay, being a lesbian, being trans, that was like, that was a completely different world. There were completely different conversations happening, if there were any conversations happening at all. And I think back to my college years, and I'm just like, wow, I was really surrounded by these closed minded people. And these are some of the best and brightest in the country and the nation, my fellow students. And so many people were so incredibly close minded when it came to sexuality, when it came to mental health, and and gender, and a number of other different things. Um, and a lot of that came up in what I was when I was at brunch earlier. Um, and it's really fascinating, because I wonder if those people have learned anything. The world is changing and shifting, but I wonder if those people who I went to college with, if they've shifted too, if they've changed too, and if they've learned anything. But that's not my responsibility. But it is just something that I kind of wonder about. Um, but I see the changes in the world. I do, and there are so many more that need to happen. There's so much growth that still needs to happen in regards to the LGBT community. There's so many different attitudes that we need to all change and challenge. Um, and I see some of my friends having children and getting married and moving on and to different stages in their lives, and I'm happy. I am happy, but I can't help but wonder and fear When you look at the statistics of the children in the United States who are homeless, 40% of them are lesbian, gay, trans, bisexual, 40%. So almost half. And that has to do with parents kicking their children out, rejecting their children. And yeah, my mind goes to that and it wonders like, wow, like I wonder if these same people who I went to college with are going to be some of the same people who kick out their children if they are bisexual or are trans or are lesbians. Um, and I just it's it can be heavy. But that's why I kind of do like to do these kind of like check-ins, like, okay, well, this is how it was in 2012, and now in 2018, so much has changed. To try to give me some kind of hope, some kind of optimism, hanging on by a thread. Um, but yeah, I think it's important to do. I've gotten so much better with acknowledging that I am an emotional eater. So um, oftentimes, if I'm feeling any other emotion besides happy or calm, I will eat even if I'm not hungry. And I've talked about this in other videos. Well, maybe not on this platform, maybe on Twitter. But I've talked about this on other platforms um, about how people have this idea and this image of what it means to be healthy. And they have like a particular body type in mind. And so I think a lot of people, when they see me and they see that I have muscles, and also when they see people, guys usually in the gym, and they have muscles, it's like, oh, like he's healthy. He's a beacon of health. Like, what are we talking about right now? Are we talking about muscles? Are we talking about abs? Or are we talking about health? Because they're not all like, it's not all the same. Just because somebody looks a certain way doesn't mean that they're necessarily healthy. I think a lot of guys have a lot of issues when it comes to their image and their self-esteem. I know a lot of guys who are in the gym every single day who do not feel that they are worthy or worthwhile of love or of attention unless they have their muscles that they obsess over. Um, they obsess over every single thing that they eat. Um, and I mean, it's one thing to break things down to a science and want a certain result and this, and then bodybuilding for competition is a very specific thing. It's its own thing that I don't have the range to really go into and to talk about too much in detail. But I'm really talking about you know people, mostly guys, um, who have muscles aesthetically. Everybody would say that they're healthy, and internally, they are some of the most unhealthy people. And returning back to myself and this relationship that I have with food, yeah, I have to learn that food is not love. That's something my therapist told me. She told me food is not love. And I was like, well, but what about the babies? Like, you feed babies when they're hungry, when they cry, to give them love. They need love. They need food to grow. I'm a baby, not a baby. I'm not a baby. I'm a man. um, and she just kind of was just like looking at me and allowing me to get this stuff out. And she was like, "Food is not love. Food is fuel. It's energy to keep your body going. That's it. If you have some emotional pain, if you have emotional responses to things, those are emotions that you need to handle and deal with, and not try to satiate with food. And it's an ongoing struggle and journey of mine, and sometimes it's a lot easier than other times. Um, and once again, like looking on the outside, it's like people see muscles, people hear that I'm vegetarian, and I'm kind of like weeding out dairy and animal products. So like being more and more plant-based, more and more like vegan diet. And it's like, oh, perfect vision of health, health nut, health fanatic. And meanwhile, like I said, if I have unpleasant emotions that I do not want to deal with, that I do not want to just like allow them to be. And that's the thing about emotions, unpleasant emotions or uncomfortable emotions. A lot of times you just kind of have to like allow them to be. And yeah, sometimes, in my experience with therapy, I learned how to cope with certain emotions and do certain things so that I wouldn't necessarily experience certain emotions or experience them as volatilely. But a lot of times, it's just allowing your emotions to pass. Because in 15 minutes, in 30 minutes, in 4 hours, the next day, you're most likely going to start feeling another emotion. And it just had to pass. It was just something that came up and then it's gone. It came up and it's gone. Like, that's just kind of like, the nature of emotions. Um, so yeah, it's still like a struggle for me. But I take it day at a day, one day at a time. And I don't rush my process and I don't rush myself and I don't judge myself, which is like really, really important. I try not to hold on to shame either. And yeah, all I can do is take it one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? Really. Um, I wanted to talk about forgiveness, like my book, the other F word, forgiveness. If you haven't already read it or gotten it, you should definitely do that. You can go to my website, jrussuf.com. And I just updated my website, by the way, so it looks fucking beautiful. I'm not gonna hold you up. It looks bomb as fuck. Y'all need to go check it out. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, like I told you before, I'm kind of like a little bit of a perfectionist, so I like things to look a very certain way. So I spent a lot of time on this website. It is absolutely gorgeous. Even if you've been to my website before, just check it out. Just peruse it. Look at the new pictures. Look at the new layout, the new colors. It looks great. Um, yeah, and forgiveness over this year, 2018. Whew, child. 2018 was the ghetto, okay? It was the ghetto. I'm telling you right now. 2018 was the ghetto. Do you understand what I'm saying? 2018, I am ready to be done with you. I'm ready to move on. I celebrated winter solstice yesterday, and I washed my hands clean of you, 2018. And it was a full moon yesterday, too. I am done. Okay? I am done with 2018. It was not fun. No, 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 it was not fun. And I'm looking forward to 20BIteen for real. Um, yeah, so I have someone who I definitely want to let go and want to forgive. Um, However, I realize in myself that I'm holding on to an expected outcome. Like, oh, yes, once this happens, I will forgive them. And the likelihood of that thing happening is pretty high, but still, the fact that my ability to sort of let them go and like, release them and release that energy is hinging on the outcome of this event, which I've been waiting a couple months for it to even occur, is like, I don't like that, you know? I'm like, well, why does it have to hinge on whether this thing happens or not? I mean, well, I know why, but like there's a logical reason for why, but in terms of like emotionally, um, yeah, I want to definitely take the steps to forgive them and really release them, and not be um, hung up on the outcome Mm. Yeah, and at lunch or brunch, I was talking to my friend from college about this guy in college who, like, yo, he hurt me bad, and I didn't realize that until like about 2 years ago. So right when my book came out, The Other Effort Forgiveness, um, there's also this woman. Her name is Toshia Shaw, and she came out with a book called The Green Light of Forgiveness, and it came out right around the same time that mine did. So anyway, we linked up or like met over the internet and like not became cool because both of our topics have to do with forgiveness and came out right around the same time. Anyway, there's a passage in her book which is phenomenal, by the way, and it's called like cutting the cord, and it's this whole ceremony. It's this whole like ritual where you like lay on your back, you light a candle. Sorry, I'm watering it down, so I'm not gonna really talk about the details too much because it's gonna make it sound corny. But it's amazing. It's an amazing ritual that I definitely recommend. Anyway, during the ritual, I realized that I hadn't forgiven this. I didn't even realize that I had was holding anything on with this guy. I didn't like we weren't even really close like that. Like we would see each other around, and then there were a couple of instances and things happened between him and I. But yeah, I didn't really realize that it had hurt me and like severely cut me deep until I did that ritual just 2 years ago, and I graduated college in 2012. So it was quite a few years after I had graduated, and I hadn't seen him since, and hadn't spoken to him. We weren't close, we weren't cool, we weren't even Facebook friends. So yeah, I realized that wow, like what he said, what he did, that shit hurt me bad, man. Like it hurt my feelings, and I felt really rejected by him. Um, and yeah, I cried about it, and I let him go, and I let that go. And something that came up at brunch is, do you think people change? Do you think people feel bad for some of the things that they've done or said in the past? Do you believe in karma? Do you believe that people will get what's coming to them? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. And I think a part of forgiveness that's important to talk about is they might go forward from this having hurt you, ruined your life, ruined your credit, ruined your health, done XYZ, and they might go on and be fine. And can you still come to a place of forgiveness and healing for you, not for them, not to forgive them and let them back into your life? No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about internally. I'm talking about emotions and being healthy mentally. Can you come to a place of stillness and forgiveness within yourself that is not that has nothing to do with whether they're going to get theirs? Oh, she gonna get hers. He gonna get his. They're gonna get theirs. And that is some of the work. That is some of the real work. It's like, yeah, he probably the same way. He probably good. He probably good. Or even whether he is or not. It's like, can I still be okay with that? Like, and like move on, you know? And just let it go. Just let it go. Because it's just gonna affect you, really. He living his life, he good. He don't think, trust me, he do not think about me. He do not give a fuck about me. I could die tomorrow and he will be good. Good, you know? But I would be the one holding on. And oh well, if I see him, and oh, if I go here, he's gonna be there. If I go to homecoming, if I do this, you know. Um, and he don't he probably wouldn't even recognize, like, like what? Who? What? What's his name? I don't even know his name. What? So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It can be tough, but that's real. That's where the work is, I think. Um, but this stream has been fun for me. Um, I'm getting close to the time where I'm gonna go have to pick up my laundry. And like I said, I'm making a promise, a commitment with you all to at least do 12 videos a year. And I think it's gonna be more than that. But I'm gonna start this whole like playlist of like dirty laundry, like a dirty laundry live stream playlist, so that every time I'm doing my laundry, I don't have an excuse. I could just turn on the live and just like, just let my thoughts be known, let what I'm doing, been up to, just like let it be known. Um, but yeah, I'm still here, still rocking it out, still living in Bushwick, in Brooklyn, New York. I don't know if I've ever said this on this, but I'm from Far Rock. I'm from Far Rockaway in Queens, New York. Um, why is that important? Um, I guess because Brooklyn and Queens is different. I like my neighborhood. I like my block. My block is very, very, very Puerto Rican. People who have lived here for 15, 20, 30 years. Um, so that's a little rare in Bushwick, because Bushwick has been one of the neighborhoods in New York that has been hit by gentrification. So are many other places, even Far Rockaway, where I'm from, which is like unbelievable. I could do a whole video on that. It's weird as hell, man. To like grow up somewhere and to know it to be a specific thing, to have a specific demographic, to look a specific way, and maybe you hate it, maybe you love it, maybe you feel indifferent toward it, and then literally overnight, within the course of like 6 months or a year, everything changes, down to like the supermarkets, down to like having a gym for the first time. Like Far Rock, we got a YMCA, like a gym. When I think it was when I graduated from college in 2012 or 2013 or something like that. And the whole of Far Rockaway didn't have a place to like a fitness center. Well, the PAL, but that's for children. That's not really for like adults, and that's on my avenue. Anyway, Far Rockaway is enormous. So it kind of goes from beach. There's a beach 1 street all the way up to like beach 25th or something like that. And each of these are like blocks essentially. And then they're not just those blocks, but there are other blocks too with different names. And it's not just like beach 1 to beach 120, whatever. It's like all these different streets in between. There's Mott Avenue, which is like the downtown area, like the center of Far Rockaway, even though it's not like in the middle. There's all of these different streets. Needless to say, Far Rockaway is enormous. It's huge. And we got our first gym in like 2012, or I think it was 2013, either one of those years. Like, that's just to let you know, to give you a bit of backstory on like what kind of place that is. There's no movie theater to speak of. There's no bowling alley. There's nothing to do, essentially. But that is changing dramatically. You might have heard of Far Rockaway because of Hurricane Sandy, unfortunately. But yeah, right after Hurricane Sandy, property values plummeted. So people bought it up and moved right the fuck in. So the neighborhood underwent dramatic changes, and it's still changing. They just put a hotel out there right by my mom's crib, which is crazy. But anyway, I could do a whole video on that. Living in Bushwick has been great. It's been 3 years now, and I love it here. I love this apartment. I love my neighborhood. And yeah, I want to just keep loving life. I want to just keep moving forward and keep growing. And I'm happy to do so in front of you all. Thank you all for watching my videos. And I promise to be more consistent this year, definitely. Even if it's just a live like this where I'm just sharing my thoughts and just talking out loud. I definitely promise to do that. And I don't think I'll be satisfied with just doing dirty laundry videos. I think I'm gonna also want to do like videos where I break out the camera and got the lighting and got the t-shirts and cool sweaters and shit. Well, this sweater's kind of cool too. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, Happy holidays, and I'm sending y'all mad love. Bye. I'll see ya.